Hey guys, it's B-Rob. I'm the host for the Food for Thought Faithcast, and it is Monday, July 28th. So we're going to do a little motivational Monday. And then my man David Sorensen has got a message for you. The verse of the day today is Psalms 55, verse 22. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Guys, that's an amazing thing. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Guys, even in tough times, even in treacherous times, even in the storm, God is always the light. And sometimes you are just being tested to see how you will react. Will you stay faithful to God, or will you do things that are not of God? Well, guys, I hope your Monday is great. I want to say God bless you. Here is a message from a man, David Sorensen. It's going to be about 27 minutes long, but I think the message is a good message and needs to be heard. So that's why I'm going to play it for you today. Guys, I hope you have a great week. God bless you. You are amazing. Keep telling yourself that, because God believes that. He does not let the birds go hungry. He cares more for you, so you will never go hungry as long as you have God in your heart. Guys, here's David.
I want to share something from my heart about why I believe that there's a beautiful future. You know, like everybody else, I was raised in this dark world with a negative outlook on humanity, no hope for the future, convinced that everything would get worse and worse. Especially because that's what is being pounded into your mind by the church. Satan is going to rule the world. The Antichrist is on the rise. There's no hope for our children. It's best not to have kids in this world, you know. It's actually a crime to put children on this earth, knowing that they will suffer in darkness, evil, all the wickedness. That's how I was raised. That's everything I knew. So if you see me posting very hopeful messages full of vision for a beautiful future, then I can tell you that something supernatural, something divine, something incredibly powerful happened in my life that completely transformed me. So, you know, when people say, oh, you're on drugs, you know, or stupid fairy tales, blah, blah, blah. You know, I understand that, because you're still in that dark cloud where I used to be. You're still in that dark realm of being very negative, where I used to be. It's the atmosphere in this world. It's the atmosphere in the church. It's the atmosphere in politics. It's the atmosphere everywhere. You know, there's so much evil, especially if you open your eyes. You know, I'm not talking about people who are asleep, who are, you know, just like in the Matrix, they are hooked up to a machine that feeds them illusions. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who have opened their eyes and who see the darkness that's everywhere. The death, the destruction, the demons, the devil, you know, the despair. It's evil and dark everywhere you look once your eyes are opened. So what happened to me that I suddenly see a bright light, that I'm full of hope, that I'm full of vision? Well, I'm not going to explain to you the whole journey that I made in the past 20 years that brought me here. But, that would just take me way too long. But I will tell you that the reason I have hope for the future is not because I'm on drugs. It's not because I'm a lunatic. It's because God has been speaking to me. God has been opening my eyes. God has been showing me beyond the veil. And I can tell you, it has not been an easy process, because for years I couldn't believe it. For years I struggled. For years I was doubting everything God was showing me. But over the years, confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation kept coming to me, so that in the end I could no longer ignore it. I could no longer deny that what I was seeing is true. And, you know, so there's a few things I want to share with you. When we look at President Trump. You know, there's a lot of people who are very angry, very upset because of the Epstein files, because of other things. But if you look from a distance, if you stop focusing on a few items, but if you look at the big picture, then what we are seeing in our world is so indescribably phenomenal. There are literally no words to describe it. I'm trying. I've written long articles, made several videos to list the incredible things that Trump is doing. I can't. It's too much. It's too much. What he's doing in our world is so indescribably powerful, so grand, so huge, so enormous. I mean, just a few examples of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples. For the first time in history, in the history of Big Pharma is being destroyed before our very eyes. Big Pharma is one of the main strongholds of the Satanists in this world. It has lost its credibility. It has lost its grip on the mind of humanity. Not a few million, but hundreds of millions of people around the world, in every nation, now understands how criminal, how deeply nefarious and evil the pharmaceutical industry is. This is so indescribably significant. Most of us take it for granted. We have no idea. Just 10 stupid years ago, most people, most of us, just followed Big Pharma. We just swallowed the stupid pills. We had no idea. It is when Trump rose to power that he started ringing the alarm bell about Big Pharma and about the deep state. I mean, 10 years ago, the vast majority of humanity thought deep state was a conspiracy theory term. Almost nobody took the word deep state serious. Trump revealed to humanity that there is a deep state. I mean, guys, the impact of this is so indescribably huge that all of a sudden we have the whole freaking world, even mainstream news media, is publicly talking about deep state because they can't avoid it anymore. It's out there. Thanks to Trump. He has exposed to the whole world, not just a few patriots here and there, not just America, but the whole world is now aware that there is a deep state, that there is extreme corruption, that there are very nefarious players who control the governments behind the scenes. 10 years ago, almost nobody believed in election fraud. That was one of those stupid conspiracy theories. Trump exposed it for all of humanity. That elections are being rigged, that puppets are being positioned, that governments are a theater. Nobody talked about the swamp. Had you ever heard the term the Washington D.C. swamp? Of course not. Nobody knew it. Trump told us. He said there's a swamp, there are swamp creatures, there is corruption, there is a cabal. He says these people are evil, these people are sick, these people are wicked. That's what he's been telling us. And not us, but he's been telling it at the World Economic Forum, at the United Nations, at the G20 meetings, everywhere around the world. Where he comes, he just says it in the cameras. Corruption, evil, darkness, and hundreds of millions of people. I mean, I don't know if anybody is awake enough to understand that Trump is literally shifting everything, turning the tide. Those who were invisible have been put on the forefront. And we can be outraged. Oh, Trump, he says there's an Epstein file. Oh my God. Please, I don't want to insult you, but I would want to throw a whole bunch of silly names around here because it's so stupid to think that he would be serious about that, because it's Trump who told us about Epstein. It's Trump who freaking arrested Epstein. It's Trump who has been calling for the Epstein files for years. So if he now says there are no Epstein files, of course he does it so that everybody would start demanding them. Of course he does it so that the mainstream news media and the Democrats and the lunatic left would start crying out for them. That's who Trump is. What was hidden and what was controlling the entire world beyond the knowledge of any one of us, except for a few very, very, very rare, lonely weirdos who knew about this stuff years ago. But we were a very small group, fringe, weird, outcast. Nobody even dared to talk about it publicly because you were mocked, you were laughed at, you were, considered insane. And now you have the whole world talking about these things. Now you have the whole world crying out about Jeffrey Epstein. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, the whole mainstream news media is talking about Jeffrey Epstein thanks to the brilliance of Donald Trump. So why would we be so stupid to say, Trump wants to hide it? No, he doesn't want to hide it. He says so that it would be put on the forefront. And that's how he has always worked. And these are just a few examples, guys. I mean, before Trump was president in 2016, the lying mainstream news media still had such an indescribable, massive hold on the entire human race that the cabal, the deep state, the elite, the Satanists, the Jews, however you call them, they were fully confident that they would be able to eliminate Donald Trump from the presidential race. They were fully confident that they would put Hillary Clinton there. And she would have controlled the pandemic response. She would have kept America for a decade, at least in lockdown. She would have launched World War III. She would have destroyed America. She would have executed the entire destructive, diabolical agenda that was written out. And they were fully confident Trump will of course not stand a chance. Because why? Why were they so confident that they would wipe Trump away? Because they had control over the mind of mankind. They had full control over all of humanity through the news media. That's how they had been positioning all their presidents forever. That's how they've been seizing complete control over every government in every nation through the news media that brainwashes the people and tells the people who to hate, who to love, who to vote for. That's how it's always been done. And then Trump started exposing the fake news media. He's the one who popularized the term fake news media. The vast majority of us had never even heard the word fake news. It's Trump who started using it. And he started exposing to the world that the mainstream news media is fake, that they are liars, that they deceive you, that they mind control you, that they tell you what to believe and what not to believe. It's Trump who exposed it to the whole world. Thanks to President Trump, the major strongholds of the Satanists that they used to suppress the entire human race have been shattered, have been abolished, have been, completely taken down. And humanity is entering a new era of truth, where billions of people are crying out for truth for the first time since the conception of the human race. For the first time, the hidden powers of evil are being put on display in a way that nobody can ignore or deny it. And of course, you have people who do close their eyes to it, but they don't count. They are completely unimportant. There are hundreds of millions of people shouting out for truth. Evil is being exposed. Everything that was hidden, and they needed to be hidden. Now that it's exposed, it loses its power. Now that it's on display, it can no longer reign over everybody because they need it to be concealed. And Trump has exposed it. All of it. He's now exposing the IRS, the tax system. He's causing people to talk about how criminal taxes are. He has exposed that Washington, D.C. is a foreign entity, that America has always been abused by foreign entities. All these things have been happening for centuries, and virtually nobody was aware of it, and now Trump is talking about it openly. These events are so indescribably significant. What we are seeing is the most powerful shift in the entire history of humanity, where evil, the veil is being removed, the people are opening their eyes, the hidden operations are being exposed, justice is being cried out for. There is something happening. And I see at the same time, all around the world, I see millions of people reconnecting with God. I see people reconnecting with nature, reconnecting with themselves, reconnecting with one another. The whole LGBTQ, transgender, queer movement that has tried to completely destroy the entire human race with perversion to the extreme, sickening sexual insanity, bestiality on display in the pride parades. They've tried to completely pounce on everyone and turn everybody into an insane, demon-possessed sexual pervert. But what happens on the contrary? Trump rises up and he says, I'm banning it. No more funding for the transgender movement. No more funding for the LGBTQ by the government. He's speaking out powerfully against it. And there are hundreds of millions of people worldwide who are rising up and saying, no! No more perversion. No more sickening sexual insanity. We want to have healthy families, happy marriages, flourishing kids, safe children. We want to have a thriving society, not one big sex cult where everybody preys on everybody. We want to have a healthy, happy, wholesome human society. There is this counter movement against evil that is so strong. And it's rising with an unprecedented force to the surface and is beginning to break through. Guys, I'm seeing, the things I'm telling now are just tiny tips, tiny tips of what I'm seeing worldwide. There's an awakening happening that is so indescribably powerful. And it's because God has been speaking to me for the past 20 years that I am where I am right now. That I see a future where evil will no longer rule, where health will be normal, where sickness will be rare, where evil will no longer stand a chance, where justice will be so strong, where people will go into government with a heroic attitude, knowing that they have a divine and royal mandate to restore this world and reign with justice and lay down their lives for the good of the people. I see a future where Satanists, those I'm sorry to say, but it's true, those Jews who have chosen the side of Satan will no longer pervert everything, will no longer poison everything, will no longer reign over everything. No, they will have been removed because God is completely dedicated to restore his creation. And again, I didn't used to think like this, but the very fact that I do is for me, and it should be for you too once you hear this, the very fact that I am now so visionary, so positive, is solid proof that it's going to happen, that it's true and real. Because I was so dark, I was so negative in my outlook, I had no hope for the future. All I saw was evil and darkness. And if I can be changed, and if I can see the light so bright, so brilliant, so beautiful, so strong, and it's literally a new day that is emerging, guys. It's literally a new day for this world, for the human race. A new day is emerging. And I am writing a book in which I will explain a lot about this. How the church has been deceived to be blinded for this new day, to be suffocated by this doom and gloom theology that destroys all our vision and that makes us so blind that we can't even see the glorious majesty that God is doing in this world. This theology, this doctrine that has been imposed on billions of Christians worldwide, I'm taking it down in this book. Because I want to show you that it is written for thousands of years already that there is a time that we are in right now where evil loses its control and where the light shines so bright that humanity will be transformed in a way that we can't even begin to imagine. What we know now to be humanity, what is normal for us now. I mean, we've been talking about the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. No. We are in the Dark Ages. We are in the Dark Ages. Future generations will look back upon our time and they will gasp in utter horror. Every election was corrupted, yes. There were Satanists leading the nations, yes. All the food was poisoned, yes. The skies were sprayed with toxic chemicals and metals, yes. You had these demons running the governments and demons running around like Bill Gates and George Soros, poisoning and destroying and controlling and manipulating everything, yes.
Hold that, food for thought. Hey guys, check out the link in the description box. Let us pray for you. There's a prayer request link down there. Let us pray for you, whether it be unspoken, whether it be detailed. Just let us pray for you. Also check out the there's a support box, donation box down there as well. Please, if you feel led, support us, support the podcast, and help us keep spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, the King of Kings.
Children were being told that they can be a dog or a cat. Yes. You had these pride parades where thousands of people go out on the streets naked, putting themselves on display in the most humiliating, perverse, inhumane ways. Yes, it all happened. And a lot worse. There were genetic experiments where humans and animals were being interbred to see and much worse. Millions of children disappeared every year for human trafficking, for sexual abuse by the powerful in this world. Oh my God, yes. What is happening in our world today is so indescribably wicked and evil. Future generations will look back upon this time and will think, I can't believe that there was ever such evil. So it's normal if you are depressed, discouraged, and dark. But I'm here to tell you that this dark night is coming to an end. The bright light of the new day is coming. Nothing we have in this world now is normal. But what is normal is coming. Health, healing, happiness, abundance, harmony, peace, joy. Where people are born into a paradise, not into a perverse hell. Where people are born into an abundant world full of joy and healing. Where they can achieve their dreams. I mean, the things that I've been seeing and hearing, for example, that most humans will communicate in a telepathic way. And you can think, that's just too weird. Of course it's weird. For our blind, dark minds, it's weird. But in heaven, everybody communicates telepathically. You don't need words. People know, people understand, people feel, people are transparent, people are completely open. We have nothing to hide. We don't need words to communicate what's hidden deep inside of us because we are so open, so light, so transparent, so pure that we can just see and feel each other and communicate on a much deeper way, on a much deeper level, because we have nothing to hide. The Bible speaks about a prophet called Isaiah. No. Elijah, I'm sorry. Prophet Elijah. He was discouraged and depressed, and because of the evil in Israel, because everybody was worshipping Satan, called Baal in that time. So everybody was worshipping demons and sacrificing their children. And he was very discouraged. And God sent an angel to him. And this angel baked a cookie for Elijah. Listen, this cookie contained so much life, energy, power, that it allowed the human body of Elijah to run faster than 2 racehorses in front of a chariot for 40 days, day and night. This is a glimpse of what exists. This is a glimpse of what is available in heaven. This is a glimpse of what God can release on earth. He ate one decent cookie. I think about that big or something. And he ran for 40 days and 40 nights, and he wasn't even tired because of the supernatural energy that was in there. We can't even imagine that, but I know that there are things like this in abundance, endless, eternal. But darkness, Satan, the wicked, evil, has been stealing and suppressing everything. I mean, talk about free energy. Talk about harmonizing frequencies that heal everybody that it touches. Talk about energies, frequencies, understandings, substances, methods that can simply align the human body to perfect divine harmony so that nothing is out of order and that the human body is as strong as can be. And nothing can even touch it because it's been clothed. It's been rearranged to become so harmonic that every disease just bounces off of it. These things are realities. You don't think angels get sick, do you? Guys, there are powers that are available and they are waiting to be released, and they are being prepared to be released to this world. We are in the dark ages. We are in an era of indescribable darkness. But the light is shining. And I want to tell you, open your eyes, open your heart for the light, because God is about to blow our minds. And it may take a few years. I'm talking right now with an inventor in Africa who has working free energy cars that never need to be charged, that run indefinitely. When the car comes home, the car powers your home. You plug in your home to the car, it powers your entire home. This is not in the future, this is in the present. It exists, it is there. I'm talking with this man to bring it to America. That's just one example, just one. What is happening, what will come to our world, and it may not be easy, but it's coming. All the ugly power poles will be removed eventually. Our landscapes will be restored. No power lines necessary. No drilling deep in underground. No pipelines for thousands of miles destroying nature. No, energy is right here, everywhere. And the technology to harvest it is in existence, and we are going to release it. That's just one example. And I'm talking to several people worldwide who are working on medical breakthroughs that reactivate, for example, stem cells, that reactivate the hidden energy that God has placed into our cells to rejuvenate, to restore. People are getting healed from incurable diseases overnight. There's so much happening, guys, so much, and this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And what I'm sharing here are just drops, just tiny drops of what I know, because I could sit here and tell you for days on end. But I want to tell you, if I post that there's a new day, there's a new era, there's light, there's hope and deliverance, it's not because I'm on drugs, it's because I'm on God. It's because God has been telling me, and it took me years, and it's real. So guys, please have hope. Please take it serious. There are people who will always dip their head in the toilet and stay there. Okay, you stay in your darkness, that's fine. But there's a lot of people who know that there is light, and light casts out darkness, and the light is breaking through. Follow me here if you want to hear more.